King Charles's coronation this past weekend put the spotlight on the English monarchy's relevancy in 2023. A history professor at VCU has taken part in eye-opening research that's uncovered the Crown's centuries-long support of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade, and of course the vast profits it received. Here to talk about her work and her upcoming book is Dr. Brooke Newman, a history professor in VCU's Department of Humanities. Professor, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, let's get started. There's so much to talk about. You wrote a piece for Slate back in 2020 when the protests were erupting over the police murder of George Floyd. You said something similar was happening in Britain. Has there been a similar sense of accounting, or at least an airing of grievances that now must be heard?
Absolutely. The protests of 2020 were transatlantic in scope, and they had many of the similar concerns that citizens in Richmond had about monuments to slaveholders and colonial figures from the past. And in Bristol, the deputy governor of the former Royal African Company, Edward Colston, his statue was torn down by protesters. And this was really soon after the murder of George Floyd. And Edward Colston was a notorious slave trader, but not nearly as well known or as involved as members of the royal family.
Well, and what has happened to that part of the accountability? It's one thing to take down Colston's statue, right, notorious figure historically, but what about the royal accountability? If American institutions like Harvard and UVA, of course, and Brown famously are holding themselves to account for what they profited from slaves, where is the royal family in all? Where are they at this stage of the process?
The royal family is in very early stages when it comes to acknowledging, apologizing for, or engaging in any kind of restorative justice process when it comes to colonialism, the history of slavery, and the empire itself. They were involved in the sponsorship of the transatlantic slave trade, invested in that slave trade, expanded the slave trade, and created a slave empire in the 18th century that they both benefited from personally, but primarily on an institutional level. This has never been acknowledged by the royal family, and only recently have they actually been pushed to acknowledge that this archival evidence even exists for the first time.
Well, and speaking of that, your work with The Guardian recently, going through this trove of documents and artifacts, you found this one from 1689 between Colston and King William III. And it is fascinating. It's a 1,000-pound transfer of the company, after which William becomes, I guess, the governor of the Royal African Company. What does that document tell you, and how exciting was it to come across it?
It's a really crucial document in the history of the slave trade and also in the history of the British monarchy, because what it shows is that the incoming king in 1689, after the Glorious Revolution, was willing to be the governor of the Royal African Company in exchange for receiving 1,000 pounds of stock. He said he would show kindness to the company, which he did. He also hosted members of the Royal African Company at Kensington Palace.
And of course, 1,000 pounds then is, we can only imagine, millions today.
A substantial sum.
A substantial sum. So your book that's coming out in 2025, I was kind of hoping it'd be sooner so we would tell folks to go out and get it. The Queen's Silence.
Yes.
I presume you're not talking about the first Elizabeth, who might have had some say in this, but Elizabeth II.
It's actually about both queens.
It is actually about
Yes,
both.
The book very much bookends Elizabeth I and Elizabeth II, because Elizabeth I lied to the Spanish ambassador about her support of the illicit slave trade in the 1560s. And then, of course, we have Queen Elizabeth, who never said anything about Britain's involvement in the slave trade and her own family's involvement in the expansion of slavery.
We have just a little bit of time left. Is there any way to quantify how much the royal family profited from all of this going back to 1689 and before that even?
It's extremely difficult to do because the archival evidence is very patchy, and much of the evidence that we have comes from slave trading companies themselves. So things like stock books with dividends. We know, for example, that they made money, but we don't know how they invested that money, where they spent that money, and so it's a difficult undertaking.
Well, it is a fascinating story. Dr. Brooke Newman, we really appreciate your heroic efforts in going through all that. And The Queen's Silence, we're going to have you back on when the book comes out so folks can know where to get it. Thank you so much for coming in.